Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of XYZ versus League of Dawgs. And since we are still getting used to our own caster synergy, Alex and I fully forgot to list off the names of the players in Game 1. So we're just going to do it now and retcon everything that happened there, and you're just going to forget everything that happened. On the blue side for this game, we got XYZ, Girthy Lampost in the top lane, Captain Snarfles in the jungle, Kept 1 on the Ryze in mid lane, LE in the bot lane, and the new addition Bluehole at support.
You know, Wes, at first I gotta admit, casting is a lot harder than it looks. Much respect to you and Johnny. But on the other side of League of Dawgs, we do have Laird hailing in the top lane on the Riven. Fsabe, perhaps some might say, on Olaf in the jungle. We have Gabbyz actually coming in the mid lane on Aurelion Sol this game. And Blubbah, the new addition, subbing in emergency sub, AD carry for Game 2 on Xayah. And of course, you all know, I know, Thresh main on his coveted Thresh pick in the support role.
We got to have some Thresh main fans out there in the audience. Send your emote of choice into Twitch chat right now to give some support to our lovely one tricks in this league. I love to see that, and I love to see them getting their picks through. XYZ perfectly equipped to deal with that last game, and we'll see how that bot lane plays out. This time a little bit more standard summoner spells, though still cleanse was taken there by Blubbah on that Xayah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he is worried about the root coming out of Zyra. Obviously, that would be the main thing you would look at for the reason for it. And I guess, you know, the Kep's snare. On that note, I don't know if Cleanse is the best summoner spell in this situation for Xayah. I do feel that she maybe could use a little bit of utility off of the heal itself. I know it's a little bit standard and boring, but I think that you have enough like as Xayah, you have enough ability to dodge the lockdown that that XYZ is going to try to throw at you with their composition. I don't feel that Cleanse is the most efficient use. A lot of people have said Cleanse is an offensive summoner spell, and that's the way you should think about it. In this sense, though, I don't think it's enough of an offensive summoner spell to merit it, but hopefully he'll prove me wrong.
Yeah, Xayah, like almost every champion in the game, definitely has the option to go Nimbus Cloak, which plays very, very nicely with heal, since you can get that nice move speed buff coming in when you are in an engagement. But we already see Gabbyz getting a little bit of his push on there, down towards Kept, who has gone with that Ruby Crystal. And yeah, pretty standard stuff coming in here. But actually, it was the blues, the top side start for Captain Snarfles. I like Captain Snarfles. We've talked about his pathing before, and he almost always starts on the weak side of the map, away from his bot lane, takes a leash from top instead. So we'll see if he can get, leverage that into some sort of control here. Is going to wander into the bot side jungle of Fsabe and is going to find absolutely nothing except the Scuttle Crab.
I think that Snarfles actually tends to do that a lot. Of course, like I said, he is an intelligent jungler. He does understand matchups extremely well. That's where his strength where it really is centered for him, and that's why he likes playing with Kep, because Kep's kind of more of a late game player. He has a shot calling to go along with it, so they complement each other really well, especially in that mid jungle synergy. So I am thinking that he is looking for this bot lane pressure. He's trying to secure the scuttle, obviously get a sense of the map, and I maybe think he feels that he needs to secure this first dragon in this matchup against Olaf, and that's perhaps why he's trying to generate that pressure for them right now and trying to see where, you know, Olaf started and go from there. On that note, I am still looking towards this top lane matchup.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Sorry to jump in on that jungle situation there, but you definitely don't want to be running into Olaf if you're Trundle before, you know, especially before you hit level 6, but even later. You kind of want to avoid him because he's going to take you down 1v1. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Captain Snarfles to start the opposite side where he was. And yeah, like you say, a volatile matchup up in the top lane. So far, you do see Laird coming in with a nice push coming through, and if he is able to get these minions, is able to take this down, it's so close. And actually, it looks like the freeze will be taken by Girthy Lampost. That is huge, Alex. Girthy Lampost being able to stop Laird from clearing all those minions. That's actually really, really monumental in the way that lane's going to play out from here on in.
The one of the funniest things that I think about when I look at lane matchups are you have top, mid, bot, jungle. I always think of this meme I saw a while ago where they say, you know, mid is more of like a slap fight. You know, they kind of hit each other and run away. They're scared. And then when you look at top lane, it is a boxing match. It's punch for punch, blow for blow. Every little movement changes the way that lane is played. It's so significant about how to maintain pressure in top lane. And that's why we have our analyst Dinsbag. He's one of the best top laners in MEL, and he understands that when he plays his champions. Ask him anytime you see him, right? It is those little micro movements that make the biggest difference in top lane, and I think that's where Lampost has his advantage. And as you can see, he got that freeze, and now he's up 10 CS. They were even until that point.
Yeah, it was a really nice play there by Lampost. And yeah, you can definitely see Gangplank, you know, Riven wants to get a kill here. Riven really needs to get that early pressure because Gangplank is just going to outscale everybody in this game. Alex, have you ever seen those competitive slap fights where it's like the slap championships and it's just two like huge meatheads like just standing there chalking up their hands and slapping each other?
I think I've went down the YouTube rabbit hole and ended up at a couple of those videos before. It is very intimidating. Maybe slap fight wasn't the best terminology because
I just couldn't help think of it when you mentioned that. An early dragon's going down, but we definitely got to finish this off because if you haven't seen those, okay, you know what, never mind. Laird is actually taking a lot of damage here from the Gangplank ultimate. Lots of damage. 1 Q away from dead here is Laird, but Fsabe has arrived and Lampost not at all interested. There's the flash coming in. First blood actually goes over to Olaf, and we're seeing Kept getting pushed away as well by Gabbyz, and Kept is going to be able to run away with very low HP, but since the collapse coming down, now the bot lane of XYZ is going to collapse as well. Gabbyz has already taken down Kept, but will Thresh main pay for that with his own life? A teleport is coming in as Gabbyz now the one who is going to be collapsed upon, but LE may not want this fight. Laird has slain LE, and that is going to be a very, very advantageous fight there coming in for League of Dawgs. Really, really good rotations. Nobody left in lane to really push out here, and this is really much better coming in from League of Dawgs.
I am so excited to see that League of Dawgs is going to come out swinging early compared to being on the back heel of game one the whole time. It is amazing to see that they realize, okay, let's get this top pressure. And as soon as they got that top play with Fsabe picking up that kill, we saw that Gabbyz realized he had the advantage over Kept, and he pushed that as well. And it was an amazing little, I wish we had a replay from it, because that fight in the river, it was just all these little tiny micro kind of managements between both teams where Gabbyz was playing that fight amazingly. He was chasing Kept. Kept was trying to bait out the bot lane, which bot lane they forced themselves into a fight, but Gabbyz just read the play exactly the way he needed to play it. They ended up getting Kept and Ellie, punishing them both for it. Kept actually baited Ellie into that death, which he really shouldn't have.
yeah, that's true. Ellie did go a little bit ham there, and Gabbyz was able to take advantage of it there. So still, like we said, beautiful play there. Still, there is a gold lead that has come through for XYZ, which is mostly based on farm differentials here. All lanes ahead in farm, only mid pretty much even. But we will see if that changes. Here's the hook coming through, and there's a flash, actually. Bluehole going in. Teleport is as well coming down, and it looks like Blubbah may be able to escape, but definitely not Thresh main. Here's the flash as well from Captain Snarfles, and that is both of the bot laners going down. A lot was expended on that gank, but they do manage to get the 2 kills.
Such a huge tempo change now. Like as soon as XYZ stumbled and they made those mistakes early on and LoD capitalized, they flipped the switch right back on them. It is interesting to see that LoD, even though they were in the driver's seat there and they had an advantage there for a little bit, they didn't fully utilize and understand, you know, the cooldowns that they had to use to get that advantage. They didn't understand how they should be managing their waves at that point. And XYZ realizing the situation and punishing them, and even going for another kill here.
Yeah, Thresh main actually has no way to survive this, but the execute did come down, and actually it is going to be a kill as well coming down. That is Lucien going down there, so it's Xayah did arrive and almost was immediately blown up as well. So that's the bot lane of League of Dawgs coming in to secure that 1 kill and then dying again immediately. A very frustrating situation for them. 45 to 77 CS in favor of LE down there. So yeah, you can see wherever Gabbyz goes, is the place that is able to stay even or ahead in this matchup. And we'll have to see if that Aurelion Sol will be able to affect the map enough to shore up those differentials in other lanes.
It certainly is kind of the tale of the two lanes here, where it's, you know, wherever Gabbyz goes, it seems that the other lanes are having a little bit of more difficulty keeping up. It was, you know, the top lane in last game with Laird. Laird's doing a fine job this time, but he is against a scaling GP, so he really needs to consider, you know, trying to punish him a little bit sooner now, rather than letting him scale for free. But now on the bot lane, Blubbah, who we said was holding his own against Kep for the first 10 minutes, is not being able to compete with LE and Bluehole at all in the bot lane. He's having a lot of trouble farming. I don't know if he's just not managing the waves correctly. Thresh main, I believe, is doing his job from what I've seen, but perhaps Blubbah is just a little bit nervous. He's missing CS when he shouldn't be, and LE and Bluehole just have no regard for a threat from the Xayah, from a Thresh main and Blubbah at all. They're constantly just pushing in and asking for Fsabe to come and gank. That's constantly pushing.
There definitely has been some focus coming in from towards that bot lane. Not just it hasn't been much of a 2v2 so far, Alex. So I wouldn't give Blubbah too much. I wouldn't criticize him too much over losing some farm here. You definitely do expect Lucien to be strong at this point in the game. And here is the engagement coming in, but LE was hidden in the bush. Looks like Blubbah actually is going to get away here. Thresh main, the sacrificial lamb in that case. And Gabbyz has been the one to have to come down to respond and only is able to zone them out, as it looks like XYZ is going to be able to take the second dragon here off of the back of that play. So yeah, you saw the amount of damage coming out from the Zyra down in that bot lane. That's why I said these champions, these ranged caster champions in support roles, are very, very strong currently in this league.
And that's what I'm saying, Wes, is that I don't think the cleanse was the best pick from Blubbah here. I think that he could have maybe used a heal, could have made a little bit of a difference, you know, helping Thresh main, you know, get a pick, get out sooner, whatever it is. That little bit of movement speed, a little bit of extra HP, I think would have been much more effective than holding on to the cleanse. But regardless, you're right, Wes. It is XYZ actually putting a lot of focus in this bot lane. They do, I think they do see that Blubbah might be the person to attack here. And they want to make sure that Blubbah doesn't get comfortable and get free farm, and they are trying to punish him as much as they can. We have another gank coming in top lane.
Yeah, here's a gank coming in, a lot of damage, but the Gangplank ult is going to be sufficient to dissuade them. That's also the flash used on the side there of Girthy Lampost, while Laird still has his available, but kept. Did use his ultimate? No, he just walked over to get in. And meanwhile, another engagement coming down. Thresh main looks like he may go down once again. Fsabe, meanwhile, has taken down the Ryze, and that's actually 2 kills up on the top side of the map. So it's back and forth here. The bot lane is going heavily in favor of XYZ, while the top lane marginally in favor of League of Dawgs. And we'll see if they're able to use that to win some team fights later on. That first turret is taken down, but some counter jungling going towards being done by Fsabe on the other side in response.
I think that League of Dawgs is playing a much better game topside in Game 2, but unfortunately, their bot side is suffering as a result of it. They put a little bit more resources, a little bit more focus into their top side, and now it's not working out for them on the bot side. I think that Blubbah and Thresh main can still contribute and still be effective, but they are falling behind in gold significantly to LE and Bluehole right now, so they need to try to find a way to efficiently farm some gold and get themselves back in the game. Hopefully they can hopefully Blubbah can catch a couple waves and Thresh main can go and hold the towers with everyone else on the side of League of Dawgs while they try and mitigate the difference that LE needs to come back from.
Now, Fsabe did take quite a bit of damage there. Actually, both of them did. Nice barrel combo there coming in from Girthy Lampost, and was able to do some chip damage while they were running away. But that is the teleport expended for Gangplank for no kills. It looks like they may get the tower here, but a nice stun coming in. Thresh main going to get the hook onto Kept, and that's Thresh main and Gabbyz once again working together. Even if they're not in the same lane, they're still the dynamic duo here, and Gabbyz getting another kill, 2-0-1 on the Aurelion Sol.
And that's exactly what Gabbyz brings to the table in the mid lane. Again, we were all kind of surprised that he didn't take mid lane in the first game, and I believe it was Dinsey on the analyst desk brought it up. Mid lane is the playmaker, the difference maker, the one who could truly carry the game for you. Sure, Gabbyz on Draven is scary, and he definitely could carry that game for you, but in the mid lane, he's that much more effective. And kept coming out on Ryze. I said that I don't believe that his Ryze is his best champion, and Gabbyz is kind of bullying him a little bit now when it comes to pressure on the map. He is still being able to farm. Don't take that away from Kept. He is still doing his job, but Gabbyz is definitely looking like the better player in this matchup right now.
Yeah, and Gabby's one of the best players in our whole league. So even though Kept is a great player in his own right, you do expect Gabby's to outperform slightly here. And yeah, Aurelion Sol definitely a very strong in lane. Actually, Laird kind of come in with the engage here. Does manage to get the Gangplank ultimate out and doesn't use his own ultimate. So that's a win for Laird. This tower falling dangerously low, but the wave was pushed in by the area of effect damage there that Gangplank did. So still decent scenes up there for Girthy Lampost. And we are going to see if the dragon is something that League of Dawgs is interested in, as 2 dragons already have been taken. Unfortunately, we're not able to see what the... Oh, no, it is going to be the... looks like the Mountain Soul here. Looks like the Mountain Soul here. So that is going to be very effective on either team. We already saw the power of the Mountain Soul last game, and we'll see if League of Dawgs are interested in contesting for this next dragon.
You would hope that League of Dawgs is looking to take this opportunity to try and fight XYZ. If we look at XYZ's composition, sure, the Gangplank and the Ryze are not where they need to be truly effective in team fights. You know, they still are building their items. They still need a little bit of time. This is the time for League of Dawgs to really try and take advantage in the game and really put it to XYZ. If they are going to just continue at the same pace of keeping it even, it is going to eventually get into XYZ's favor, where the Gangplank, Lampost Gangplank, and Kep's Ryze are going to be unstoppable. If Olaf tries to run into that wall of damage when they have 2 to 3 items, he will get blown up before he could do anything. So it really needs to be on League of Dawgs to take the initiative to try and make a play right now, and them giving up Dragon is not what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I definitely think a team fight could have been in their favor there. We do see the Lucien very strong, but yeah, like you said, scaling is the name of the game for this XYZ composition with the Gangplank and Ryze combination, as well as Trundle scaling up nicely. Lucien really is supposed to be the strong early game champion, which he absolutely has been. LE coming through there with nice kill secures in the bot lane engagements. So yeah, you definitely would have liked to see League of Dawgs maybe go for that, for the contest on that objective, but they choose to live to fight another day instead, and going to just keep getting the farm that is being pushed into them with these pushing lanes.
I feel that this game is currently teetering on a knife's edge. I think that if there's going to be
here's an engagement. Bluehole is taking a lot of damage here, but that's Lucien coming in from the side with the ultimate. The stopwatch came down, and they do still manage to get the Zyra. Laird here is in the backline, and they kept doing a lot of damage there, kept going down. Now it is going to be the AD carry as well, and look at Gabbyz just able to put out so much damage in this fight. Shutdown coming down onto Captain Snarfles. Gabbyz carried that fight. Now it is going to be kept with Laird. Laird actually goes in on really low HP, and Gabbyz is here, but Girthy Lampost as well has shown up, and the shutdown does come down. That was way too aggressive coming in there from Laird, and Gabbyz just has to run, and there's the flash for flash. Kept does flash away. Girthy Lampost still very, very fast there, and doesn't manage to land the barrel, so that is likely going to be the end of that chase. Here's Gabbyz, and now look at this flank. Blubbah is way in the behind enemy lines there, and actually they forced the flash out of Gangplank. So yeah, you saw how justified Kept was in being scared of this Gabbyz Aurelion Sol, that PogChamp turning into a little bit of a Monka-S potentially for Kept there, as it is ridiculous scenes in that team fight, and we got to watch that replay. Now, without further ado, here's the next team fight coming in. Thresh main taking actually a lot of damage, but it looks like they are going to be able to back off of this one, and they may give up the turret here.
Look how much damage Kept is putting out. Maybe he heard that I said that he hasn't been playing well. It's the caster curse. I don't know what it is, but he's angry now. He's pumping out damage like nobody's business, and he only has one completed item. I am going to be scared when he is in that situation where he has like 2 or 3 items, and I don't know if League of Dawgs is going to know how to manage that, because he is going to start looking like Yumby real soon, real quick, if it continues this way.
Yeah, and I don't know if you at home are watching the health bars up on the side, the right side there, but Blubbah just took a barrel from Gangplank, and it took about half his HP with one spell. So that is very dangerous already just with the Trinity Force. Girthy Lampost able to put so much damage down onto that AD carry. Blubbah did survive, though. Now Thresh and Captain Snarfles is going to have a little altercation here. Looks like Captain Snarfles looking for some counter jungling, and we'll see if Fsabe is going to be able to take this. Yeah, it looks like Captain Snarfles is just going to back right off, and that blue buff did reset. So it's going to be Gabbyz probably coming over here to grab that buff with the mana. Oh, another one more auto attack required. Lucky to get that off before Fsabe's damage over time ticked it down. And that is 4-0-2 on Gabbyz. Now has completed the Liandry's Torment and Riley's Crystal Scepter combination. And you saw the amount of damage he was doing before. It is going to be so much more now that that item is completed.
In that last major team fight where Gabbyz just got away with his slippery dragon maneuvers, my jaw was dropped watching Gabbyz in that team fight. He literally carried that fight by himself. Sure, Laird came in and he did a little bit, but then Laird re-engaged when he shouldn't have, and somehow Gabbyz still got away, and he pulled the flashes from both Kept and Lampost for them chasing him, and made him punish them for trying to chase him and kill him. So Gabbyz, I think, is still in a great position to try and carry this game for League of Dawgs. They're still very much in this game, even though XYZ is a little bit more of the aggressor right now. I think Gabbyz is so scary that I don't know if XYZ is going to be able to have a clean team fight at all as long as Gabbyz is alive.
Wow, Fsabe just ate the entire... Oh no, Fsabe! Wow, he took a big risk there taking that Thresh Lantern. And Girthy Lampost takes him down. Just the edge of the Gangplank ultimate will be sufficient. And yeah, that was Fsabe eating an entire Lucien ultimate to the face. However, the hook does go down on Bluehole, and now it is Laird fighting Kept, and Kept, we saw him putting out a lot of damage, but Laird has completed that death stance. Will he be able to go for this? He is going to keep going, but I think that he might not be able to. No, hang on, Kept taking so much damage as well. Laird not going to be able to finish it off, and that is going to be the Ryze ultimate. Hang on, yes, he does get away. Beautiful work there by Kept, but you can see Laird does have the 1v1 threat, and so they are going to be able to get away from that. And that was really close on the steal, but LE does secure that. That's Mountain Soul going over once again towards XYZ. So even though this game is looking much, much closer than last game, it still is XYZ with big advantages.
XYZ certainly looks like the team that understands macro a lot better. Perhaps it's their shot calling. Perhaps, Blubbah not being fully integrated into the lineup of League of Dawgs for today is kind of throwing off their rhythm. But whatever it is, XYZ is having better vision control management. They're understanding wave management a lot better, and they're understanding how to take these objectives. League of Dawgs is always a step behind on it. In this game, though, they are looking a lot better when it comes to laning. Minus, Blubbah in the bot lane, but otherwise the laning, keeping up in farm and things like that, they've been doing a much better job, but they just haven't been able to establish that vision line, that opportunity to push up as a team and fight for objectives. And now we have another pick coming in.
Look at that Trundle pillar forcing the flash out of Fsabe. He couldn't even walk through that passageway. That is what happens when the Mountain Soul is taken, and that comes onto the rift. Now Kept, you can see how much damage already being done to Blubbah, and going to be able to pull back. Doesn't even get the stun though. So they are looking for this kill, but Kept such a threat here. You can see the damage coming through just from the E spell there, and Threshmain gets flash. Threshmain misses it, but does get him in the ultimate. That's a lot of damage. The shutdown does come down, but the Baron is being taken on the other side. So even though the shutdown comes through, first of all, it goes to Threshmain, and second of all, they once again give up a huge objective just for a shutdown.
Am I having deja vu? Kept it the same exact play from game 1. This time he's on Ryze and he's 1-4 rather than 505 with the Majais on Kassadin. But regardless, it was the exact same playbook. Cap must have said, guys, this is the same exact play. We're just on we just reverse sides of the map, but it's the same exact play. Let me get some attention bot lane. They don't have the vision control. This is a free Baron. Sure, Cap probably didn't draw up that he was going to die in that play, and he almost looked like he was about to 2v1.
So close, yeah.
Very, very close. But in the long run, XYZ still making better macro calls, still developing that vision like I was just talking about. It looked like League of Dawgs actually had almost no idea that Baron was going on. They were kind of just roaming around there on the top side of the map. Maybe there was something going on, maybe not.
Yeah.
But XYZ simply just doing a better job in the macro game.
Yeah, certainly no vision was on that Baron when they were doing it. Not sure if they had cleared it out before, but yeah, like we said, that Mountain Soul really, really affecting this team's ability to do a lot of damage. Now here's Bluehole, actually goes with the stun, but catches out the Olaf, and that's not the one you want. Gabbyz unstoppable already, and is going towards LE, and does get the ultimate down. That's the Ignite going down, and the flash coming in. Shut down goes over to Gabbyz. This is very dangerous, a 3v5, but already a huge amount of burst. Thresh main has gone down as well as Blubbah, and Gabbyz is going down as well. Look at the collapse. This is the scaling. Gangplank with a triple kill coming through, and the shutdown goes to Kept. And League of Dawgs, it looked like they had some hope, but it's all falling apart after that team fight.
Wes, it's such a funny chain of events because I know we're not really supposed to be talking about Twitch chat here, but I kind of have it open on the side. Yunbi actually tuned in, and he said this Ryze is nowhere near his level in a much nicer way. He said it in a much meaner way than I said it.
Is that right?
But in the meantime, even though he feels that Ryze is not at his level, XYZ as a team just really came together and they understand where their strengths are. And GP hit Gangplank, Lampost Gangplank, hit that mark where he's like, okay, it's go time, boys. I have Laird pushed out. He's not able to come to this fight, which was the problem to that Laird was not able to rotate in time.
Yes.
Gabbyz was doing everything he did, but Laird was just too preoccupied. The wave was getting pushed in. Again, League of Dawgs not managing those waves properly as Baron was taken. They should have been pushing them out a lot more aggressively than backing, but they didn't. So XYZ realizing the situation, waves are still pushed in. Let's force the fight. They're not going to be able to rotate, and there's the result. We have XYZ pulling far ahead now in this game.
Yeah, here's Bluehole actually catching out Gabbyz, and a lot expended, but not nearly enough damage. That's the HP from Gabbyz just coming through and being perfectly enough to tank up all that damage. And that's actually a really big cooldown used there on the side of XYZ. That Zyra ultimate very, very powerful into this team. So yeah, and like you said before, when you said forced the fight, that is exactly the word. They really forced that, with Bluehole going in on just the first person he saw, which was Olaf, the absolute least efficient target. Speaking of which, here's Fsabe getting caught out once again, this time much more efficient, as totally caught out there. No control of his own jungle. Oop! Captain Snarfles pressed the wrong button there. That is beautiful golden troll. Right in the middle of the jungle with nobody to threaten. Yeah. Snarfles didn't have the right hotkey there, but they still would be able to push this. Now the wave clear of Aurelion Sol is so strong, and he is able to. Yeah, look at how he's able to clear up those minions, especially with Liandry's Torment. Even if super minions start streaming into the base, that Aurelion Sol is going to be very efficient at taking them down. So they will be able to defend very nicely. This is something that this League of Dawgs team is well equipped to do, is defend siege. Now you can see already Kept doing so much damage though with just one combo onto Laird, and Laird no longer at the point where he's able to 1v1 that Ryze.
I don't know if anyone could do anything against XYZ right now. Sure, Gabbyz is in a good position to still deliver some damage, still output a threat, but the strength that XYZ has as a whole right now, they are up 9,000 gold, coming close to 10,000 at 28 minutes, which is pretty significant, but I don't even know if there's an opportunity for League of Dawgs to really fight this. But as I say, there's
Bluehole going to get taking very, very low, but actually they don't complete the kill, and that's Lampost going to take down Blubbah, who has been the punching bag this entire game, and the pillar goes down. They will escape, but that is going to be so close to the end here. Will Gabbyz be able able to do enough damage to dissuade them. They're going to get onto the Nexus here. Both turrets down. Will XYZ secure second place for the playoffs? They have to do it right here. This is going to be a lot of damage going on to Kep, but not enough. Fsabe goes down there to LE. Laird going to get taken down as well. That is the game. That is the series. XYZ going to take down League of Dawgs.
What a series, Wes. What a series.